Well, hi everybody, this is Richard Hewson from the RAH Band, and this is a very exciting day for me because I have a 5 CD, 71 track box set, which is totally new to me, so I know no more than anybody else what's in it, and so I'm really looking forward to this. So without further ado, I'll open it with a, hopefully without cutting the box, get the cellophane off. Here we go. It's always the tricky bit, this cellophane. Yeah, there she is coming up. Now what have we here? Now look at this. The RAH Band. Messages from the Stars. The RAH Band Story Volume 1. Now on the back it tells me what exactly we have. We have disc 1, The Crunch and Beyond. Disc 2, the RAH Band, which was called RAH, I think, at that time. And disc 3 is Going Up. And then you've got 2 more CDs with unreleased material, remixes, all sorts of variations on the theme, which so let us have a look inside. So look at that. This box is beautiful. Isn't it beautifully made? And here we go. At the top is a booklet. Messages from the Stars, the RAH Band, Volume 1. And here is lots of pictures. Oh, look at these. I haven't seen these pictures for ages. They look quite good. Anyway, I think it was from an interview that I did with Lois Wilson, who was a music reporter. And it looks fabulous, actually. It's beautifully photographed and put together. I mean, how they do these things, I always wonder. Look at that guy there. That was me about 20. Amazing, fabulous. Now, the first CD, The Crunch and Beyond. I love that picture. I don't know who did it, but I'd love to get the original copy of that because it's exactly what I asked for. I said, could you do something a bit like Salvador Dali? And he came up with that, which I think is perfect. So there's The Crunch and Beyond front, and on the back is all the disc. Well, it's the whole of the Crunch and Beyond album, which is all the tracks that everybody probably knows anyway. And then we've got bonus tracks, Jiggery Pokery. I mean, we're going Jiggery Pokery. Porridge. That was a funny old track. The Crunch Part 2. Now that was the Crunch then with some dubs on top of it. Tokyo Flyer, which is a very early track, which turned into Funky Tokyo on a later album. Anyway, and then Falcon. Oh, sorry, no, I've got to the bonus tracks onto the next album. Anyway, it looks absolutely fabulous. The colour is amazing. What's the disc like? And the disc, again, has got that wonderful painting. I wish I could find out who did that. If anybody knows out there where that is, I'd love to get it, or a copy of it. Right. And now we have the second CD in here, which again is, the original artwork is, where it came from, I don't know, because it was rather out of my hands back in those days. In those days, you were just a record maker, and the record company took care of all the artwork and everything, and I never had much to do with it. But that's nice. I like it, the way they've done the lettering. And on the back, you've got all the, well, we can probably do that later, but you can see all the tracks, which this album was called RAH, and you've got Falcon, which was quite a big hit back in the 80s. Downside Up, Dream On, Slide, Blue Horizon Drifter, all those lovely tracks all on there. Plus, you've got your bonus tracks, Slide, Mix. Now, there's mixes on here with an asterisk, which have never actually appeared on CD. There's one called Drat That Cat. Now, this track is one that people keep mentioning, and I can't remember it. I know we made it, but I just can't remember it. So I'm looking forward to listening to this. Drat That Cat, 12-inch mix, 2 versions of it. Downside Up, all these haven't actually been released on CD. Riding on a Fantasy and Ride. So this is a lovely reproduction of that album. I'm really looking forward to this one. Okay, let's have a look at the picture. And again, it's got the that one there is not quite the same design. We'll have to do that separately. But I think that was the cover for the promo single, if I remember rightly. Anyway, so that's that one. That's so exciting, so exciting. Then we come to RAH Going Up album, if I could get it out there. Look at that, the RAH, again, a lovely design. All this must have been done back in the day on I suppose it was RCA Records then. And with the, I like the way they've done RAH Band, that's really good. All clever people out there. And the lovely sort of rainbowy colours, lovely. And on the back again, we got the tracks, Message from the Stars, Roll Me Down to Rio, all those tracks which were on the original album, plus a bonus tracks. Now again, you've got asterisks on things that actually haven't been released on CD ever. There's Perfume Garden, original mix, Riding on the Fantasy, Rock Me Down to Rio, Messages from the Stars, that one, which I hope everybody knows by now. Shortwave mix, now that's a special mix. There's a story behind that one. Okay, so here we are now onto the 4th CD, and it's got a lovely logo, which is the new logo of the RAH Band, because obviously the old, the last 3 copies have got the original artwork, but this is new, beautiful artwork. Again, the slide is from a single, I think, that picture there is from the single. Now these are Disc 4, Remixes and Rarities Part 1. Now you've got lots of remixes. Now back in the day, this was about the time, early 80s, when 12-inch singles were all the thing. You know, you did your 7-inch single, you always did a 12-inch single. Now basically, there weren't so much remixes as they are today, where you take the stems and recreate the recording. These were more long edits, really, that you'd sort of maybe sample bits from the original recording and stick them together and make a 12-inch mix for the clubs. And that's most of these things, in fact probably all of these things, had 12-inch versions, of which these, so they've never been on a CD, they've only been, back in the day, they'd have been on a promo really for the clubs. And you've got all these Tears and Rain, Riding on the Fantasy, loads and loads of Funk Me Down to Rio, which I think earlier I said was a sort of morphed copy of Rock Me Down to Rio. Again, they're all 12 inches versions, which probably more edits than I would say remixes as we understand that word today. And absolutely beautifully put together. And again, the CD, look at that colour, isn't that great? The way that they blended that in with the cover of it too. I love it. I think it's absolutely beautifully done. And there we are. So that's Disc 4, Remixes and Rarities Part 1. Here is the 5th CD, the RAH Band, that lovely logo again on the front. Beautifully done. And that actually is from the Falcon single. Again, a piece of artwork. Where it came from, I don't know, but I love it. That lovely falcon spotting his prey. I think it's a great idea. And this is Remixes and Rarities Part 2 on the back, as it says. And again, there's 2 here that have never ever been heard in the universe. Funky Tokyo 7/8-inch mix, got 2 asterisks, which means it's never been heard before. And then you go on to Funk Me Down to Rio, which is again a remix of a Rock Me Down to Rio. And again, you've got all the lovely remixes, basically, as I said before, they're probably more edit mixes, rather what I would call edit mixes, than actual recreations that a lot of people do these days. But they're all on here. Winter Love, coming up to winter, just the job for winter. 2 versions of Winter Love, Dream Street, now that's a funny one, I don't know who did the vocal for that. Rising Star, Sam the Samba Man, 2 versions. I mean, it's just so well done. And how many 2? Yeah, there's 2 there. Funky Tokyo's never been anywhere. Mind you, I think I know a man who would know it, who there has been. It's Dean, my friend, great super fan, Dean. He would know it anyway, whether it's been out there or not. Anyway, previously unreleased on CD ever. And so that's that one. And now inside, again, look, lovely colour scheme and echoing the front bit. I love it. I just love the artwork and the feeling of the whole thing. I'd certainly buy it. Well, so there we have it. A 5 CD, 71 track box set of all my early stuff covering the years from 1977 I should say, to 1984. The early years of the RAH Band, the first real period, I would have said, of the long career that we've had. And I think it's just wonderful. I really like the feel of it. It's solid. It's got all the tracks you'd ever want here covering that era. And I do hope you enjoy it.